Great. So Casey, we've talked a lot about kind of the STEM focus and the Huang family's investment into Oregon State and what that could mean, the robotics, a lot of STEM related activities and education opportunities at Oregon State. But what about outside of STEM? What if you're a humanities person, or what if you're an English literature or an arts person? What does Oregon State have to offer a student that are interested in those areas?
I'm really glad you brought it up, and I think this is why it's such an exciting time to study at OSU right now, is that basically OSU's expertise has always been about taking technology and injecting it into whatever major you're studying. And when you talk about art is changing very dramatically right now because of AI. So at OSU, even if you're not studying STEM, we want you to understand how technology is changing your field. And so the way that art is produced, the way that it's sold, the way that it's generated, that's going to be different. We want you to be ready for that world so that when you graduate with that degree, you're able to adapt and use that technology into your degree, even if you're not focused on developing that technology yourself.
Wow, okay, that's interesting. So there's a lot of room for students in a lot of areas at Oregon State.
The other thing that OSU really focuses on is research. And you might not think that research has a place in humanities, but it absolutely does. Everything an English major does is about understanding the core works and doing research on them, right? And so OSU makes sure that you understand how to process research, how to understand it, and then how to be able to do your own research.
Okay, interesting. Well, I think a lot of the students are out there that, the political environment in the United States is changing. One of the things I get from a lot of students, so I guess three things is, one is safety. Like, how safe is it to go to the United States? The other thing is they're worried about like racism and sort of kind of an anti-international student kind of atmosphere. And the third thing would be government policies. Like, are they going to be able to get a visa? Can they study? Will they be able to work there? So I don't know if you have any kind of insight or anything that you could tell the listeners about potential issues or changes that are coming.
Yeah, well, you've been to Oregon, you're from Oregon, you've spent a lot of time there, so it's a very welcoming place. And a lot of what you hear on the news, it's not what you experience day to day. And so when you're in Corvallis, people take care of each other, they're welcoming, they're very excited to have people from all around the world come. And I think students can feel that. The minute they walk off that airplane, they're going to feel like, oh, this is a place where I'm accepted and I'm invited to. Corvallis has consistently been ranked one of the safest university campuses in the entire U.S. And then as far as policy changes, we just haven't heard or seen anything. So our visa status for international students hasn't changed at all. The ability to work after you graduate in the U.S., that's still in place. It really hasn't changed. We've been established for 150 years. We've had a lot of presidents during that time, and nothing has really changed throughout that.
Okay, so you don't see there's really any, a lot of it's just media coverage, and I would think so too. I would think that how important are international students to not just Oregon State University, but to the United States education system as a whole? I would think it's quite important.
I mean, the whole reason I'm here is because that OSU, we want to make sure that every time you're in a classroom, no matter where you come from, you're sitting with students with different perspectives from different places that have different lived experiences, because that's how you come up with big solutions to big problems, is get a lot of diverse thought and experiences into the same area. And so it's so important for the learning not only of our international students, but our American students as well. And those international students graduate, they get to contribute to research in their program, they get to do internships. And so it's really a huge benefit to both the students themselves and then the institution at OSU.
That's interesting, because I think at Beyond Education, that's one of the things when I'm talking with students is that I try to say, like, why would you want to go to a university where you have just one sort of thought? It's just an echo chamber, right? So if you want to have as much diversity as possible, that's the best kind of environment to learn in. So that's really good.